Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Saturday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. Welcome. Good to see you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, where I help you take a look, start, and grow a side gig for yourself. So welcome. Good to see you. Hey Jenny, how are you? Good to see you. I have a good one for you. I've been saying that though for like 4 years. I can't believe it's been 4 years. But I have a really good one for you, and it was it's right at the tip. I mean, it's right here, and I've missed it all along. I don't know how I missed this principle all along, but it's important. It's one that, hey Jenny, thank you for the stars. I appreciate it. Lisa, how are you? Welcome. So this whole principle of time and wealth and income and all this stuff, you hear people say, well, everybody has 24 hours and everybody has 7 days in a week. And, the poor have the same hours, the rich have the same hours. Doesn't matter what color you are, what brand you are, you just have every day is the same, right? So, yeah, but what is that all? I mean, so many of us oftentimes fight to get paid more per hour. I know I don't want to open up a can of worms, okay? This is not where I'm going, but I'm going to give you a reference point, okay? Again, this is not where I'm going. This is a whole different life. But in California, I don't know if that's valid where you are, but in California, there's a time that people fight to get paid more per hour working at McDonald's or a fast food place. Now, I used to work at Burger King a long time ago. And if I tell you how much I got paid, then I'm dating myself, but you all know. I was getting paid $3.75 an hour. $4.25 is, I think, when I got left. $4.25 an hour, right? So now you fast forward to today, people are fighting to get $15 an hour, $18 an hour for flipping a hamburger. And the argument is what? Things are expensive and getting more expensive. Okay, yeah, I mean, if things are getting more expensive and you're supposed to raise your rate per hour, then what are you giving back to the society, right? Yeah. Oh wow, 381. No, that's crazy. Yeah, 375 right here. So what are you giving back to society or that job, let's say, right? You're still flipping that hamburger. Now, nothing against people who work in a fast food or restaurants or, nothing against that. I'm trying to prove a point. You're not getting to be a master chef, right? You're still doing the same exact skill. So why would that be worth more if it's the same skill? Again, this is a whole different life. I'm not going there, okay? Now, so that there's a value attached to that worth, right? Or to that price, right? So you come to this world of the comma, what I like to call the comma world, where you have a comma in your income. Let's call it your annual income. You have a comma, hopefully. And then there's either 1 digit, 2 digits, 3 digits left to the comma. Johnny, my man, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you, brother, man. Good to see you. So you either have 1, 2, 3, and then you can have another comma, and then there's going to be more digits to the left of that, right? Well, what does that exactly mean? when you make $100,000 a year, that's $8,333 a month. Okay, that's $8,333 a month. You break that down into a week, and that's 1923. It's 1923 a week. Okay, now wait right here. 1923 a week, and you would make $100,000 a year. $1,923 a week. You're making $100,000 a year. Here's what's interesting: that 1923 divided into a 40-hour work week, you're getting $48 an hour. $48 an hour. Let's call it $50 an hour. I'll give you a $2 raise. Let's say you're getting $50 an hour to make $100,000 a year, right? Now, if you were making $50 an hour, would you be flipping hamburgers? You'd be flipping some serious burgers for $50 an hour. Do you see that? Like, you wouldn't be flipping hamburgers unless you're a master chef. Your burger is in a 5-star restaurant. Okay. You're skilled, right? You're really skilled. $50 an hour gets you $100,000 a year. What if you want to make $1 million a year? $1 million a year would be $83,333 a month. Broken down into a week, it's $19,230 a week. You divide that by a 40-hour work week, that's $500 per hour. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody. You can tell me. What fast food pays you $500 an hour to flip a hamburger? Nobody. There's no place like that pays you $500 an hour, right? Here's what can get more interesting, right? So, $500 an hour. If you were charging $500 an hour for your hour, which means $250 for 30 minutes of your time, how would you spend that 30 minutes of your time if you were charging $250? Think about it. Think about it. I thought about it today. This whole thing just hit me today. How would you spend your 30 minutes? Or who would you spend it with? You'd probably really value your time, like a lot, right? Because it's like worth so much more. You're making $1 million. That's like $500 an hour. You're not going to be, I don't think you're going to be wasting a lot of time. Probably not going to be complaining and blaming other people either. You're probably not going to be like lost and say, well, you're probably solving big problems. You're growing, you're learning, you're reading books, you're taking chances. You're not flipping a burger. Now, you can have a mindset of flipping a burger, but think, be nice to make $500 an hour. Flipping a burger, though. See, most of us want to make that money doing what we do, don't we? We don't want to step out. We don't want to raise our skills. We don't want to learn new things. We don't want to challenge ourselves. We don't want to put ourselves out there to get punched and ridiculed and all that. We don't want to be rejected. We don't want to get dumped. We don't want to get somebody to tell us no. What? Are you doing one of those things? And yet, we want that $500 an hour. Hey, I'm gonna continue flipping a burger. You just raise my what? Pay. How's that fair? Does that like if you were the employer, would you do that to your employees? You'd be like, you know what? I'll tell you what. You just keep flipping a burger the way you've been doing since 100 years ago, and I'll just keep paying you more. Does that even make sense? Like, does that even make sense? You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't tell your kid, some of you are parents, you wouldn't tell your kid, hey, I'll tell you what, kiddo, I'll tell you what, you stay in the first grade. You just stay there. Like, I don't know, for the next 60 years, you just stay in first grade, and they'll just keep paying you more and respect you more, and you'll just, like, does that even make sense? That makes no sense. Zero. But yet, we fight to get paid more, but we want to stay exactly where we are. That's why a lot of people want to make more money, but as soon as you tell them, hey, can you take a look at this? They're like, oh, well, So you can't be flipping the burger for the rest of your life and expecting to get paid more. Flipping a burger is for kids, for people who are in high school and starting college. That was me. Would it make sense for me to go and start there now? How dumb would that be? Like, what did I do with all my life with 50 years? That's where I would go back. But yet, some of us are all about that. All about that. Choosing the what? The flipping the burger road, but expecting $500 an hour. Hey, I've been flipping a burger for 50 years. Yeah. That's a freaking problem. You should not be flipping a burger for 50 years. You should be owning 20 restaurants that have employees who flip burgers. You see that? It's a big difference. So I thought that was amazing. $100,000 a year, that's $50 an hour. $50 an hour. And you know what? If you live in California or Southern California or live anywhere on the planet Earth except maybe Costa Rica, that's not a lot of money. $100,000 a year is not a lot of money. It isn't. It's not going to get you much. It isn't. So $50 an hour, when somebody tells you $50 an hour, you're like, when somebody comes cleans your house, they charge $70 an hour. They're already making more than $100. Did you catch that right now? So the person who comes and cleans your home, the person that you pay $70 an hour, sometimes 100, maybe even more, you can just like add it up, right? So you can't be, it's okay to flip the burger, but it's not okay to flip the burger and expect the $500 an hour paycheck. You want to stick here? That is totally cool, but you cannot be expecting that. And the other question is, if you saw somebody who was charging $500 an hour, $250 every 30 minutes. Matt, how are you? Man, it's been a minute. Good to see you, bro. If somebody's charging $250 an hour for every half hour, right? How would they spend their time? How would they care for their time? Think about it. Right? So the next time you're thinking about spending time on things that may not be worth a whole heck of a lot, like $50 an hour worth or $500 an hour worth, this would be a good way to measure things out. Esmeralda, how are you? Welcome, welcome. This would be a good way to measure things out, right? Bob, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Hopefully you guys can circle back and watch the replay. I'm about to wrap this up. But to sum it up, here's the deal. You come into play, you decide your wages. You know why? You know how you decide your wages? Based on what you can bring. If you can only flip a burger, don't be coming here saying, I need $500 an hour. Well, why? Because things are expensive. That's not very logical now, is it? It doesn't make sense. You wouldn't, if somebody said that to you, you'd be like, what? That doesn't make sense, right? So why would you practice that in your own life? Please don't. That's the simple way around it. Don't, So when you show up to the marketplace, right? Every day you show up, whether it's a job or whatever it is, you're an entrepreneur, hey, maybe you sell ice cream or you sell t-shirts, whatever it is you do, right? Whenever you show up to the marketplace, what you bring, that sets your value. That sets your worth. You're telling the world, listen, I'm charging $500 an hour. There are people on this planet Earth that charge literally $25,000 for 1 hour spent with them. How did they get there? I bet you they're not flipping a burger. You're not going to go to them and say, hey, how do you flip a burger? They'd be like, what? You spent $25,000 to learn how to flip a burger? You wouldn't. So if that is what you are aiming for, then you should up-level yourself. This is where you step out of your flipping the burger situation. You learn a couple things. You learn new stuff. You step out of your comfort zone. You take the hits. You learn. You take new challenges. Take risks. Hey, how about faith? And so if you're stepping into the marketplace, be fair with what you charge with your time. And that really comes down to how you see yourself, how much you can squeeze in that 1 hour that's worth $50 or $500 for you. How are you going to fill that hour? Right? I mean, it's got to be worth $50, right? So what do you put in that hour that's going to end up being worth $50 value? Or what are you going to end up putting in that 1 hour that's going to be worth $500 an hour value? Matt, good to see you, bro. Right? So it just all depends on how much you got going on in that 1 hour. What do you got? What's the package you're gonna give to the world? Is the package that I'm supposed to get from you, is that worth $500, or is it not? Right? And the good news is you feel the value of that hour. So it's all about you. Hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. I appreciate you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Those of you who I haven't talked for a long time, Matt, it's good to see you, bro. Everybody else, I appreciate you guys. Johnny, thank you for sticking around. And Jenny, I appreciate you guys. Todd, I'm gonna go back to the comments. I'm sorry I didn't see everybody come in. Bob, Esmeralda, let's see. I saw Brad come in and go for a sec. So thank you guys. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. If you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Spread the love. I am Sean Azimi with Side Gig Sean, where we look at, start, and grow a side gig for you. Until tomorrow, signing off. Much love.